See, there's a big difference between earning money and just having the government print it. See, when people are productive, when they have a job and they go to work and their labor is used to increase the supply of goods or services available to the public, right? You have a job, you do work, and your work either aids in the production of a good that people want or need, or you're helping to provide a service that people need. And in exchange for that help, you get money, you earn money, and now you can use that money to help buy the goods and services that you yourself help to produce, right? And the more productive you are, well, the more you earn, and therefore the greater share of what society produces, you are able to enjoy yourself. But when the government just prints money and gives it to you, right? When you have all these unemployed people who are sitting at home just getting a check from the government, they produced nothing. They added no goods or services to the economy, yet they can consume goods and services in the same proportions as if somebody had actually done work and actually been, a productive member of society. So what does this do, right? All this does is drive up prices, because if your work adds to the goods and services, and now you're consuming the goods and services you help create, that's fine. But if now you start consuming goods and services, yet you didn't help create any of those goods and services, you just have more money chasing a diminished supply of goods and services, and prices are going to go up. And they're going to go up like never before. And the irony of all of this is that the Federal Reserve has been promising Americans more inflation. Well, that's one promise that they're going to deliver on. In fact, they're going to deliver on it beyond their wildest expectations. And contrary to what everybody is saying, inflation is not a good thing. Inflation is not desirable. Higher inflation is not making progress. Right? What people want is a lower cost of living. When prices go down, that's progress. And that's capitalism. That's how capitalism works. When you have real capitalism, businesses become more productive. They become more efficient. They develop economies of scale. And as they do that, the cost of production comes down. And as the cost of production goes down, demand goes up. Because as prices go down, more people can afford to buy more stuff. And it's falling prices that have historically driven a rising standard of living. Well, the government has interrupted that benevolent process through inflation. And a lot of the times, inflation doesn't simply make prices go up. Inflation also prevents prices from going down. And a decline in a price would have been a windfall for the consumer. When the consumer is denied that windfall by government, it's still a tax. The government is still taking your purchasing power because the goods and services that you want to consume are more expensive as a result of the government inflation.
Before we continue, help us by smashing that YouTube like button and subscribe now to this channel. This shows the algorithm that you value the information, and it helps us spread this message. Sharing is caring. Please like and subscribe now. Thank you. And now, let's continue.
Now, of course, a lot of the inflation that government has been creating since the 2008 financial crisis, a lot of that inflation has temporarily moved into asset prices. That's the stock market, the bond market, the real estate market, the market for collectibles or other things that are in short supply. And so when inflation pushes up asset prices, people don't complain because the people that own those assets, of course, feel much richer. Now, if you don't own those assets, obviously it's problematic if you want to buy it. For example, if housing prices keep going up and you don't own a house and you want to buy one, the fact that prices keep going up, that's not a good thing. Now, the way the government has offset that is by keeping interest rates artificially low so that people can afford to overpay for houses as the prices keep going up. But again, all of that helps distort the economy and fuel the bubble. But beneath the surface, consumer prices have been rising. For all this talk about deflation, we haven't had any. For all the talk about an inadequate increase in the CPI, consumer prices have been going up. Despite the government's best effort to hide that, through the CPI. I mean, if you think the CPI is giving you an accurate read on inflation, that'd be like assuming the mafia is going to give you an accurate report on crime. I mean, clearly, if you hired the mafia to study crime, you wouldn't be surprised to find that they said that there wasn't any, and therefore there's no need for more police because there's no crime. The last thing the government wants is for the public to realize how much inflation there is. They certainly don't want bond investors to realize that. The key to sustaining the bubble economy, the key to sustaining massive and unsustainable government deficits in the short run is artificially low interest rates. And the Fed's only justification for keeping interest rates artificially low is the preposterous idea that there's not enough inflation. And therefore, they need to keep rates low in order to make consumer prices higher. But again, it's absurd to believe that consumers want higher prices. If they really did, then stores would advertise price hikes instead of price cuts. They wouldn't make a big deal about having a sale. They would send out notices, hey, hurry up and buy, we just raised our prices. Consumers don't enjoy increased prices. They look forward to decreased prices. So this is all a ruse because the government is trying to justify a reckless monetary policy that is designed to protect the government, not the economy or not the people. But we're about to suffer the consequences of all this inflation in a way that's far greater than what I even imagined when I first began coming to these money shows. And a lot of that, too, has to do with what's happened during the pandemic, which is obviously not an event that I had built into my forecast, but nonetheless is simply accelerating everything that I have been forecasting and will make it worse.
What to do in such a situation? Inform yourself and keep your financial education strong. We from the Compact Group offer our loyal subscribers a free educational portal with first-hand monetary, financial, and economic knowledge. Enter our invite-only Insider Club by clicking the link below. You will get access to first-class information far earlier than the rest. We have prepared a special deal for all our members where you can access a giant pool of Robert Kiyosaki's financial wisdom for just $1. To find out more, simply click the link below and join our Insider Club absolutely free. But there is more you can and should do. Build up several streams of income. More and more people realize that they have to take their future in their own hands, but they don't know how and where to start. We from Compact offer our Insider Club members unique opportunities. Strengthen your financial muscle and get the edge. Click the link below. Become part of our free Insider Club. No financial obligations. But there's one important thing you have to know. You have to become active. So do it now. Become active and see you on the other side.